Nah, I don't know.
Warning, the following program contains strong black first opinion about mature and strong subject matter that affects black America and the diaspora as a whole. Listen at your own risk, you sissy.
Grand Rising All. You are listening to the one and only Be One or None. Good morning from Africatown, Los Angeles.
Grand Rising, everyone. We kind of just jumped in here real quick so that we can talk to y'all about this government shutdown. Part of the crew is in the house, part of the nation. We got Mind
Peace,
Games,
peace, peace,
we
peace,
got
Negroes.
and the funny
Hey,
is, as we said, America, which is the government, is starving its own citizens, putting its own citizens at risk so that the rich can get richer, regardless of whose party is doing what. So, Mind Games, you said earlier you heard something. What was the update that you heard?
I said something about a judge. Some judge said that Trump them got to release all the funds for the SNAP by the end of this month, something like that. He was trying to get partial. He's trying to do partial pay. He said something like that. But yeah, like I said, both sides were playing political games anyway. So we know why the Democrats want to hold off for it. So a lot of folks were blaming most of the Democrats. They were blaming Trump. Of course, the Democrat shields they hate Trump, gonna blame him. But like I said, I ain't taking no sides. But at the end of the day, we know why the Democrats want to hold off because they're trying to get them the legal immigrants to get all the assistance and stuff that American citizens should be getting.
I'm gonna put up this. I was trying to pull up some stuff for us to see. So we're gonna put up our Fair Use Act. Now we're gonna talk about. I seen this post right here. Um. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to talk about that one yet. Basically, I'm gonna jump back to that, but I wanted to read. Hold on. This about the government shutdown. Hold on. Okay. Now you know that most of your news articles are gonna, favor whatever side that they want to favor. So I was reading this right here, and this is from the BBC, and it say, why has the U.S. government shut down? What happens now? Basically, it says the current U.S. government shutdown has become the longest on record. It's not clear when the budget standoff between the Democrats and the Republicans will end. Notice that we said Democrats and Republicans because a lot of people are calling it the Trump is shut down. A lot of our people are blaming Trump for this, and we have to understand the president doesn't write bills. He doesn't make votes. The vice president makes the tiebreaker vote, and the bill is sent to the president to sign. So basically, the article is saying it means that many, but not all, U.S. government agencies are temporarily suspended. That's around 1.4 million federal employees who are unpaid. Mind you, the government is being paid. The government officials, Congress is being paid. Although the budget confrontations are common, this one is especially tense because the Donald Trump is drastically reducing the size of the national government as he returned to office. So basically, they're saying the Republicans and the Democrats could not agree to pass a funding bill in October. In the US system, Congress approves a spending plan. So I want y'all to see this. Congress approves a spending plan, not Trump. This is the Democrats and the Republicans that make up Congress. You take Democrats and the Republicans out of the equation, these are the people you voted for. and they always approve a spending bill. The Republicans control both chambers of Congress, but in the Senate or upper chamber, they are short of 60 votes needed to pass the spending bill, which gives the opposition Democrats negotiating power. And this is why they say that the Democrats are the really ones who's holding this bill. The Democrats want the bill to include an extension of expiring tax credits. They claim it's for health insurance, to make health insurance cheaper for American people, and to reverse the cuts that Trump gave to Medicaid. So Democrats also oppose spending cuts to health agencies. Now, a stopgap bill designed to avoid the shutdown was passed in the House, but it did not clear the Senate. So basically, ending the shutdown requires both parties in the Senate to find a compromise that Trump will sign. Several votes aimed at reopening the government have failed. Republicans say they want to negotiate the health insurance subsidies separately and only pass what they call a clean resolution. And then, of course, they say the Trump administration is not willing to offer anything else, et cetera, et cetera. It goes on and on. But as you can see, and I'm pretty sure that y'all have heard it, the Republicans have offered, as they say, a separate bill, and they want to come back to the health bill. To me and you and all of us listening, wouldn't it be smart, because the year is not over yet, and this is what's been said before, and we've said it before, separate what Americans have, which is, if it's food stamps, if it's health care, because everybody is yelling food stamps and Section 8, but basically the Democrats are not voting because they want to give this subsidy to the what they call Obamacare, what they call the Affordable Care Act. These insurance companies are basically price gouging. Once Obama put in place the Affordable Care Act, they raised the insurance prices, and they wanted to make it look like me and you are just, it's so much medical bills that they have to raise your insurance. No, they're being greedy. And this is what Trump them don't, the Republicans don't want to push all this money into the Affordable Care Act. And as I said before, when I worked for Medicaid, there are immigrants who are getting free health care. Me and you have to go through jump fences and hoops and hula hoop and everything to get health care. When they come in here, we don't know their background, but if they come over here having their children, they're getting free health care. And all this kind of goes into what they're arguing about. But they can separate what Americans need. You can pass a separate bill to give people their food stamps and to give people their Section 8 without having to negotiate the Affordable Care Act or the tax credit right now, because these insurance companies should be held accountable for raising the prices, because it makes no sense to have an insurance bill for you and me to have health insurance $3,000 to $7,000 a month a family. That's more than your house, your car, and food stamps together. And this is, I'm not knocking the Trump administration. I'm not agreeing with the Trump administration on everything, but we need to go past this smoke screen and understand that the government is being used by billionaires and these corporations. If you look on the Affordable Care Act, while they're talking about food stamps, and white people are passing all these little memes, even black people saying that, oh, people want food stamps, you want free food stamps, but the majority of white people are on food stamps, and the majority of them are getting this tax credit, because if you don't work, you cannot get the tax credit. Remember that. So the insurance company, the U.S. government is paying these insurance companies $3,000 to $4,000 per family with these tax credits, and it shouldn't be. And that leads to this, what I was pulling up, that about Walmart and other companies. Walmart is just an example, and we all know it. You go to these jobs and they ask you to fill out this form, whether we never understood it. You fill out this form and they ask you questions. Have you received food stamps? Have you received Medicaid? Has anyone in your family received food stamps or Medicaid? We send our children to work, and when these teenagers get the jobs, they ask these questions. Why? Because they have not raised minimum wage. We are arguing among each other. Minimum wage has not went up. Why? Because they want to keep you poor. There are people working 2 and 3 jobs and still need food stamps, but yet the Congress people are still getting paid. But jobs like Walmart keep wages low so that workers can qualify for SNAP and Medicaid, and they get a tax credit, just like the insurance companies. Those same workers spend their checks back at Walmart, feeding the same machine that underpays them. And they, like this meme said, this is not a business model, it's a loop of exploitation. The insurance companies, these corporations are exploiting the American people, because everything we buy, soon as we get paid, even if you're working at McDonald's, even if you're working at most of these jobs, soon as you get paid, unless it's a factory, you kind of put your money back into that same company, while these companies are getting tax breaks from the government. And I lay my plane.
Goddamn, you were cooking. That's what I'm talking about. They had to get it reformed because a lot of people don't understand how it works. But yeah, that's crazy, man. Like I said, both of them, Joe, they all tied into it. Like I said, the Democrats really want these legal immigrants to have it. Like I said, I'm glad you broke it down. You worked in the field before, and you know for a fact that illegal immigrants were getting it. Assistant government assistance and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, I don't get it why some of our people um be caping for that. Like I was on fan base last night and this sister was like, yeah, she's like, as long as they're not criminals, illegal criminals, I think if they come and want to have a better life in America, they should get it. I'm like, no, I like because they're not legal. I mean, they're not legal citizens and stuff. So I'm like, why should they get something that legal immigrants actually work hard and did what they're supposed to do? I got against the ones that did it right. But the ones who, you know what I'm saying, because they were talking about, they went to a daycare and got a lady, and I found out that she was actually running from the police. And she ran into the child care, the daycare. It made it look like she was working there. But yeah, like I said, I don't think they should get it. Because think about all the people who should be getting it. Think about the parent, like my mom when she was living. I know a lot of my other friends, y'all probably know the same thing. Like my mom worked like 30 years of her life, she retired, but they only gave her like what, $15 in food stamps. I guarantee you those illegal immigrants ain't getting no $15 in food stamps. That's BS. I let my plane.
And a lot of people don't want to admit. They keep saying, well, they're legally here. They're still getting benefits. We carry a burden of America, especially Black people, since we've been born. These people come over here grown. We don't know their past in their own the other countries. They come over here as asylum seekers and they get all these benefits. It's coming through Section 8 and it's coming through food stamps. It's coming through Medicaid. This is what they're arguing about with the government shutdown, because the Democrats want to push all this money into the system, and it's all well fine and but why don't you correct these insurance companies that are price gouging us to death? The insurance companies are price gouging us, and no insurance company, we should not, they was like, the premium is going to go up. Why? Because they're robbing us. They're exploiting the government through our tax dollars. You're getting a tax break, but you're the one paying for it. They have us trying to down people on food stamps. The whole thing, everybody's saying food stamps, food stamps, food stamps. That's all I see. But you're not talking about the real problem. The real problem is, like we said, these corporations like Walmart and all of them, when you and your children go fill out this application, they ask you these so-called questions so that they can get a tax credit for hiring you, but yet they won't raise, nobody will give us a living wage. There are people working 2 and 3 jobs. They act like people on food stamps and Section 8 don't work. If you don't work, you might get a minimum, but when you work, everybody knows in America, all your money goes to bills. So all of us probably need food stamps assistance. They call it food stamps, but at the end of the day, what is this that Walmart call it? They call it a tax break when a corporation gets it. It's our tax money. It's your tax money, no matter where you work.
Yep, facts. And that's so.
Yeah, they
So
play.
let me ask you a question. So should us as a taxpayer be mad? I don't care if it's our family member, whoever. getting it? Should we feel some kind of way that people are getting food stamps and especially illegal immigrants? But should we feel some kind of way like they're taking out our checks and stuff to pay people, right? So we should the
Mhm.
people, the taxpayers should have a say so in that, correct?
They should, but the thing is, the taxpayers should be getting food stamps. We should be going after
Yeah,
when they raise the housing. These mortgage companies, these rental rates are too high. It takes you to work two paychecks to pay somewhere decent to live.
yeah,
Your car
facts.
note. Then they make you have a car note. Then they now it's mandatory all over to have insurance.
Yeah,
And then you paying in car insurance and health insurance. Food stamps is just a drop of a dime. We sending more to, like we say, the Jews, and I'm going to say it are getting reparations. And I want to know, why are we paying their reparations?
yeah.
I ain't did nothing to no Jew like they say with black people, but I can't get reparations.
Exactly. I even had a white guy came on my TikTok about a year ago said that he said I'm trying to understand why America paying the Jews reparation and we had nothing that they weren't even in America. And like I say, we should be black
Exactly.
people. Say black people should be in reparation. That shouldn't even be a conversation. That shouldn't even be up for this, for this for discussion. But they always and they got some black people. They go a long way too and stuff like that. But yeah. How long y'all think the shutdown gonna take? How it gonna be?
I think that Trump and them is going to hold it out. But see, what they not saying, that the Republicans are trying to pass small bills so that the federal workers can work. They even try to pass a small bill so that the people can get food stamps and
Wow,
Medicaid.
really?
But the
Didn't know
Democrats,
that.
yes, that's what they were saying about the clean bill. Let's Google it now. Anybody got a chance? Google what bills have the Republicans brought forward so that the Democrats can at least vote so that you can fund your people. But the Democrats don't want to because the Democrats lost the election to Trump. They're mad because everybody is tired of the Democrats giving all our resources to everybody except for the Americans. And most of the people who need resources are black people who were never paid reparations because we have went through generations of poverty. Anything that's
Exactly.
going to benefit black people, we keep voting for Democrats, but they're not doing anything for us.
Let them tell. They say you never was in slavery. That's what that were the other people. That's the other people argument. You weren't a slave. The
No,
Jews.
but our
Jews.
our great grandparents were. Slavery wasn't but 100 and something years ago. So
Hey,
why
look, the Jew.
why is it okay to give an immigrant something and we want to cry for them? Look at their country. Look what they're doing. Well, why don't they have a civil rights battle like we did over here? Why they not
Exactly. Exactly.
and bleeding over there like we bled over here? Why come over here and then like the New York mayor saying, "Well, we're all immigrants."
Oh wow. Yeah. Oh,
A
he
lot of
fucked up. He said that.
here. The whole point is they changed the history of the original Indians because you
Yeah.
can't just come over here and start slavery and you don't even know what's over here. You didn't bring half of us over here. We were already here. We've been prisoners of war.
Yep.
Our this web runs deep,
Yep.
but we're
And he know.
supposed to feel sorry for those that's coming over here to get resources that they refuse to give to us, and that is the problem with the Democratic Party.
Yeah. He said we're a nation of immigrants. He said, like you said, the immigrants built this country. No, but with he messed up. He said that, boy. 'Cause, like that's an insult to our ancestors and stuff, and we should always fight for that. Like, come on, man. Like,
Definitely is.
black
Definitely
people.
is. But they steal everything from us anyway.
Yeah,
Exactly. They steal everything and then they want us to feel and cry for everybody. And it is the amazing how many black people I see like just work, just work. That's just like on the slave plantation. Just don't say nothing to master. Let's just work harder. And this is why we're here because our mentality is to keep working while we see everybody else benefit. Now that it seems like we're not in slavery, they still want us to work harder when we are right in slavery. We were not compensated for anything. So why should we feel sorry for others before we feel sorry for ourselves? We need compensation. They don't want to give us
exactly.
compensation because with compensation there comes power. We'll have power to build businesses like Walmart, like all these corporations, like these insurance companies, and we usually will probably build a fairer business, and that would give us power, and we wouldn't be able to be exploited by them. But the government is being exploited by corporations and nobody is saying anything. All these insurance companies are exploiting the
Oh
government.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay with it.
Yeah.
They want to put
Yeah.
more money, and then the tax breaks that they're getting is coming out our check, no matter how big or small your job is. If you work at
Yep.
McDonald's, look down at your check. If you work at
They
Burger
getting
King,
that.
if you chicken plant, if you work at the nursing home, if you work as a housekeeper, look at your checks. They're taking money
Yep.
out your check. Now think in your position, there are millions of you in every position. So the government is collecting trillions of dollars and they're putting your money out there, and it only our there's only $1 billion and some dollars each year that goes to food stamps, and we know that part of it goes to immigrants.
Oh
Whether
yeah.
they pay, so the government is, and then these people, the government are giving businesses tax breaks, and then to you, when you get something from the government, they want you to feel bad. Or you're getting welfare, or you're getting food stamps, or you're getting Section 8. The fuck do you not? What do you think a tax credit for these businesses are? They're hiring a bunch of poor people because the government is giving themselves, they're getting paid, mind you. They gave
Yeah.
themselves a raise when the government was getting ready to shut down before. They gave themselves a raise, the minimum wage is not raised up. They all this inflation, but minimum not wage is not up because they want these corporations to basically get free labor. Half the stuff that's in these stores are going to go on sale. So
Yep.
that means that, and then they working us to death, and they're getting government welfare. That's what this tax credit is.
Yep.
They're getting tax credits, and then these insurance companies are saying, "Well, now the price is 3,000 a month, and so now we need a tax break."
I think
So
Trump
that's what
talking.
they're fighting for. They're not fighting for us. They're fighting
Exactly.
for a corporation.
Exactly. I think Trump trying to, like overseas, a lot of countries pay low on their prescriptions. I think Trump trying to make that deal that we paid what everybody else paying in the world. Like they paying cheap on prescriptions and stuff. And I think that's gonna be a good move for him to do that because the prescription
Yeah,
killing something. But some of us can't afford to get our own prescription. Had to get generic brands and stuff like that. And then my dad was living. He was like $4. Not $4. He had 4 pills he had to get. It was like $200. I'm like, who can afford all that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it makes sense. Like you said, even with taxes, they don't not just get taxes out of your check. When we pay taxes and like sale tax and hotel tax, gas tax, all that stuff go back to the government. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's crazy. It, they making so much money in so many ways and stuff. And,
did you see the gas? I forgot when it was the insurance company, the man that collapsed in the White House
uh,
during the live. They said he collapsed, but he was one of these people that had stock into raising prices. Like all these people that own these drugs, they're raising prices, and he collapsed. Hold on, let me play it.
it's crazy. Wow.
So, like what they said, what people don't understand is that he collapsed, but guess who he was? He was one of these people that price gouge. Our medicine shouldn't cost that much. When we go on cruises and stuff like that, I learned through Queen Kathy when we went. A lot of people go overseas and get their medications because it's cheaper over there. The medication doesn't have to cost that much over here. We are dealing with greedy rich people. They will starve and keep you and unalive you just so that they can stay rich.
Capitalism at its best.
Exploitation. Hold on. Look at this. But he came up there to lie. Look at it, a bunch of old white men that's been running the country.
American President Donald Trump at the Oval Office on November 6th
And then
during a press conference about reducing the cost of weight loss drugs.
it was supposed to.
Cameras captured the incident as Eli Lilly's CEO, Dave Ricks, was at the podium talking about his company when suddenly a man who has yet to be identified started stumbling before slowly collapsing to the floor. Ricks quickly paused his remarks as Dr. Oz rushed to the man's side. President Trump then slowly got up and looked over as several people helped the individual.
In America, we've been advancing science and creating high-value jobs. But today, we Oh, you okay? Hear me okay? Let's take a break.
White House employees then asked members of the press to leave the area and moved them into the White House briefing room.
Okay, now you see that. So, are you there, Maze? He may. I think he kind of came off. Are you there? But you see
Yeah,
how,
yeah, you can hear me?
yeah, they were talking about, they so-called was talking about lowering weight loss drugs and this and that. These drugs should not be this high. Remember the young guy who raised the drug for diabetes and the drugs for with the what is it when you get stung by bees or something? What is that drug called?
I need something about. I need something about. I just can't get it
So
up.
the EpiPen,
Yes. You remember
Yeah,
how
yeah.
he raised it like 600%? These are greedy old white men and their
asthma
white
too.
and their white families. And then the Democrats, instead of these Congress coming together and talking about a bill, when are they going to come together and talk about these corporations price gouging, exploiting American citizens? They should not be getting tax breaks. We should not be making no American feel bad about food because we have got this persona that we should walk around like we're so rich and happy and working two and three jobs and trying to live like the rich. Everybody wants to live like the rich, but the rich are the only ones getting away with robbing the American citizens. Tax credits and tax breaks is no different from food stamps and Section 8. And I land my plane. You want to say anything else, Mind Games?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you dropping that knowledge today. I mean, give some good information and stuff. That stuff I didn't even know about. Like you said, the pharmaceuticals, they cannot. Some people cannot be touched, and them one of them. The Feds, the Federal Reserve, and the pharmaceuticals. Them one of the some of the top corporations that can be touched. They do what the hell they want to do. They pretty much own the government. Tell them what they want. They know that, like I said, they know that they can raise prices and nobody gonna do nothing about it. We can complain, but they know that the people, not just black people, people in general, the American citizens, are not gonna fight back. They're just gonna accept it, just like they accept paying bills on time and keeping their credit. Credit is a scam too. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody credit can get messed up just like that. They lose their job, they can't pay their bills, their credit screwed. So you got people stress themselves out trying to keep that shit straight and their health go bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it's all politics, it's all a game, and these guys they don't care, they don't care nothing. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, yeah,
They want you to feel.
Yeah, we can hear you.
yeah. They want you. They say they want you to. Pretty much, they want you to be slaves to the government, even though Republicans so-called don't believe in government, but they still part of the government. I let my find.
They want you to feel bad for requesting things from your government while they rename and they play the word games like they played with us when it comes down to giving government assistance out. Oh, well, this is for the illegals. They're asylum seekers. So it's okay to give them free food and free housing, but yet not the people who built this country. Oh well, they want us to play this keep up with the Joneses game so that all of us black white in together don't request more from our government. So their government keeps giving tax breaks to the rich and then tell you when you want something, oh, it's welfare, it's food stamps. So you could feel bad for thinking that you need something from your government. That's what it's for. We are pooling our money together. When they're taking out taxes out your check, that is a pool of money. And then somebody is sitting around deciding where this money is going to go. And they're filling their pockets. Your Congress people should not be millionaires. There is no way Nancy Pelosi and all of them should be having 10 and 20 and $100 million in their accounts. The reason why they have it in their accounts is because of this right here. They're funding these government, they're funding these corporations, like you said, D means this is why these corporations are doing what they want to do with medicines, raising prices 600%. You can't afford you can't afford medication. It's not because of God and you can't pray this down. It's because you have a greedy person sitting there and they're paying your Congress people. This is why the Democrats are going so hard, because their pockets are full with kickbacks. The Republicans, they just want to fill their pockets with tax breaks and giving tax breaks to the rich. They're both keeping America citizens starving while you work 2 and 3 jobs. Half of us should be retired. They raised the retirement age so that, notice, anything that happens to the average American, the rich always stay rich.
Yep.
They keep raising the prices for something to make you think you can't afford it. But that same material that's been on this earth to make a boat, to make a table, to make a chair, the same fish that's been in the ocean, been in there since God created the earth. But somehow they tell you every year now it costs us $1,000 for this chair when it's the same tree that was there along.
Exactly.
It's increasing
We the
value.
on- we the only creatures on the planet that gotta pay to live. That's a damn shame.
The
We supposed
water
to be
is
the
there.
and we supposed to be the
Exactly.
intelligent ones. And we supposed to be the intelligent ones. That's crazy. Like you got if you
Exactly.
don't work, your ass gonna be out in the streets.
The
You know what
water
I'm saying?
is
Like,
there. They're telling
yep,
you a bottle of water costs is $5 and $6, and we're buying it, and that's the same water that's been running since before we existed. We got a
exactly. Ain't that so?
game.
Damn. I don't remember when they even started
Out the
charging
water
us for water.
hose. We used to
Yeah,
drink right out
man.
of the water hose. That was the best
Exa-
water.
exactly. Cold, yeah. It's
Yep.
crazy. Let it come out a little bit, make sure ain't nothing in nothing, you get to drinking. And that's amazing though how times change. I think it started about what 95, some crazy time like that. That's crazy,
Think
man.
about
Like
this.
that's
They said lobster and shrimp was a poor man's food. Now
yep.
all of a sudden it's a elegant it's a uh, elegant meal, and now it costs
That's
us
why
$600. You can get a lobster at a restaurant and you paying hundreds of dollars, and you could go get a lobster at the place and you paying $50. It's all a game to keep the rich rich, and we need to stop trying to impress each other because we're all in the same boat.
yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep,
People who
yep.
discriminate have to work. Now, those who don't work have kids, and so the kids qualify, and that's some of them that don't work. But in other countries, the mothers are able to stay at home with their children when they have the baby, and the government helps them. Over here, we shame each other for being human.
Yeah, I heard somebody I keep hearing about this universal income. I don't know if you heard of something about that. I heard they're going and they how it's gonna end up being they're gonna be a universal income. The government pretty much gonna give you a certain amount of money to live. You know what I'm saying? I keep hearing about that. They said that's gonna but
We
then
don't
they're gonna
want
have
that because
control
they'll
on
work you to
exactly.
death. It's already unfair. You'll be working
Exactly.
20 and 30 hours for the same income, and they want to find ways because they're running out of money so that the rich can stay rich. There's no such
Yep.
thing as rich people. It's called greedy people. They change the
Yep.
prices and stuff to make you think it that to make you feel like that you are not worthy of this because you don't have that much money in your bank account. The same amount plastic is free.
Yeah.
We so much plastic. All this stuff that boats and stuff are made out of are rocks. Marble is a rock,
Yep.
but they tell you granite is a rock, but they tell you this marble costs more than the one that you can get. See
Ain't
how
that so?
they want to
God.
raise the prices. The rich want to keep raising the prices, and they raise the money. Inflation is the same banks. There is no new central bank. So how do you get? How do we tax when we buy? When we tax in our paychecks, we're taxed when we buy a car. We're taxed when we buy a grocery. We're
Yep.
taxed when we buy our clothes. They're getting their money back all,
Hey,
and then they're
you know
doing
what?
what they want. So they're collecting taxes and taxes, and then they're
It,
paying their themselves to go invade other countries and take their resources. And they're telling us to just they play the game with us. Oh, feel shame if you need food, even though you're working 3 jobs. There was a time that
hey,
we had to work one job to take care. They're making you feel shame, and then most people are secretly working 2 and 3 jobs to make it look like they got it like the rich.
it's you know what, Queen? Tim, I'm glad you said that about the taxes. And I be trying to tell people. I said even if you file a exempt on your job, you always still gonna pay taxes, gas tax, hotel tax,
Mhm.
cell phone tax. You can't get out of it. I'm in Airbnb and I gotta pay taxes on that. So I'm like, you can't get out. That's why they don't worry about it. You had to be really, so you had to really be in really crazy debt for them to come out to you, like real about like real money, 100,000 stuff like that, because they don't care about that little thousand, two, five, $8,000 because they know like we gonna get it from you anyway. Cigarettes, all that. You go to the restaurant, to a nice restaurant, they gonna tax you on
Then
that
they
stuff.
then they made it look like they raise cancer drugs. They make it that you
Yeah.
can't even hardly have no treatment. They have alcohol everywhere. Then you have to pay for these rehab centers, and they thousands of dollars. Insurance doesn't cover half of this. And then they tell you that, well, we're going to raise the price of cigarettes and stuff because you know it's causing cancer instead of going after the company. So you want to raise the price and make
Yeah, so
for people to get it because like everything that the American government does to say they help it is not, it's to help themselves stay rich. No one should be
exactly.
a millionaire. What
And
you
they
need
don't never want people. They
for
don't
we
never want people to be here.
clear
Look, this white girl.
same
Check this
thing.
out. Hey, Jen, check this out. I know we gotta get off in a minute, but look, this I know. It's like I think Biden was running. And they were talking about the health care and all that, right, in America and stuff, how bad people health is. And the white girl made a good point. And I think when she was Republican, she said, "Well, the problem with America is she didn't, now she's in America." She said, "Yeah, we got the worst like health amongst people, like most other countries." She's like, "The thing is, if everybody said they health serious inside, like eat right and stuff, they won't have to worry about getting, on this medication." I agree with it. I know I'm in the fitness and stuff. My thing is, yeah, we don't push living a healthy lifestyle in the country. We push all the negative foods and stuff like that, especially in the
We don't do it.
minority.
The corporations do it to get rich because they
Yeah,
make sure
exactly.
you working all the time, and then when you want to run to get something, they're putting
Yep.
chemicals. They're putting chemicals in food. They're not giving
Exactly. All the food is
And,
bad.
and check this out. They got a thing. I heard it years ago. And I believe it because I mean we all ate, fast food and stuff. The crazy part about it, like Burger King. How about you, Burger King? I think they got the damn that charcoal smell. I think they beat any damn fast food restaurant. They say they specialize in putting certain stuff. So when you smell certain food, you want to eat it. Like Burger King, to me, Burger King is the top one. Like that charcoal is supposed to smell good as I'm like shit.
It
So
does.
they,
And if you
yeah,
hungry and you working 2 and 3 jobs and now you
yeah,
can't, they have this war against men and women, but women are working
yeah,
just as hard as men. Nobody here to
yeah,
take care of the kids. So while we were both working, we're paying somebody to watch our kids so that we can work. But daycare is about 400 or 500 a week, and they think that.
yeah,
Mhm.
And you wonder why some women just stay on Section 8 and don't go to work because it costs more to have a baby.
yeah, yeah.
We
It costs a lot, man.
both working. We're gonna run and get something fast to feed the children. They have us
Yeah,
going in a rat race so that they can stay rich, and we all need to recognize that.
thanks, thanks.
Ready to get off
That's
the
right.
wheel.
Yes, it's time for everybody to get off the wheel. I love that, Kathy. It's time for us all, black, white, or whatever, to get off the wheel, or we're gonna keep running around trying to make money off of things that's for free.
Yep, that's
Water is
facts.
free. The air is free. They even got it. They even got us in polluted areas that they call the ghetto. Look at what they for real. Like
Yeah,
you
you're
could
right.
in a white people neighborhood, you won't have bugs. You won't have it seem all fresh and clean because they take care of that area, and they purposely don't take care of the areas where most black people at, so it can give the illusion of the ghetto.
Yep,
Why they still make money?
facts.
They cut down
Yep,
all the trees and then they have factories, so it's smog and smoke. But then in their areas, they have trees and grass, and then they want you to have a house and grow grass instead of being smart and growing food. They make it like, oh, you growing food, you stupid. You're stupid if you grow food and pick berries and eat out here. You should buy it from the store. Most of these new kids don't even know where milk comes from. Like I seen a white girl on a post and she was like, did anybody know that you can pick your own fruit off a tree? Because she had a lemon tree. This is how dumb they are.
that's
But
crazy.
it's
We used to get
real.
berry
I seen a
plums and
girl
stuff.
that
Yeah,
does
I mean, we used to pick plums.
yeah, I seen a black girl that
That's
does
crazy.
foraging, and she said that they started clearing the land and they only grow certain trees so it can make you look like you're poor if you want to get your stuff naturally.
Mm.
Yeah,
We don't even know how to
Yep.
go in the woods and recognize fruits and vegetables and edible plants and herbs anymore. We only recognize those that they put in front of us to sell because that's what they can keep up with. They tell us the rest is weed, just mow your lawn. And we have learned wild lettuce and a lot of stuff that we can eat in
Yep,
our
the weeds. We think they
Yep.
weeds and pull them,
yeah.
and
Back.
it's killing. Yes, it's a drug basically for, I guess, like a painkiller. What I want to say, a
Yeah.
natural painkiller.
Yeah.
Had no clue.
Hold on.
That's
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah, there's
That's
a lot of painkillers, a lot of stuff that we can eat. Is I remember coming down south and we used to eat like the honeysuckle, the little stuff. We
oh yeah, yeah.
have all these sugars. We had different sugars and different things that we can eat, but we need to go back to that. We need to stop trying to look rich while we're poor.
Yeah, boy, ain't that the truth? It's how yeah,
All
yeah.
if you work in 2 or 3 jobs, you are poor.
You ain't
Trying
lying, but a lot of house poor too. A lot of people house poor too.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
you're poor trying to live a nice life. It's okay, but understand where you're at.
Yeah, you just
Because
have a peace of mind, especially at a certain age. You don't want to be up here working the whole life. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? I
and
see
that's what
old
they
people.
have us. And they have us planning to work the rest of our life because they just up the in retirement age. So you
Yeah,
get
that's
out.
crazy. That is crazy. They do it all the time. Like, wait, every 20 years. Yeah. Yeah.
But we're
At
gonna
least.
get up out of here. I gotta get back to
Oh,
work.
oh yeah, we was cooking. We was cooking. We was cooking. I appreciate it, y'all. Yeah, we'll be back on
Yeah,
soon.
we'll
Yeah.
get back on here. We're
We
gonna
gonna
try.
talk about yeah, we
Yeah,
can
we
talk about
can
that New
run back
York
on this
mail.
weekend if you're available. But we'll
Yeah, yeah,
keep
yeah. We can do that. We can do that like on Sunday or something. Because I know we want to talk about that mayor of New York. I don't know what the New Yorkers
yes,
will
I
talk
want
about.
to get
I
on
know
to that too.
I know you're from New York too, but I know you up there proof disapprove that you still got family members up there, right, Tim?
Yeah, my uncle is here now,
Yeah, but
right
it's
from the Bronx.
yeah. So how what they think about it, like, that mayor, like what's they
I
like
don't know. We ain't really talked about it, but we're gonna talk more because I don't even think they know he's been down here since they elected the immigrant mayor. I don't see why black people are not in
okay.
position. We keep
I'm
paying
like, that's crazy. And he said he's against billionaires. You an idiot because these billionaires are one that employing people. Them billionaires are the one like when Home Depot or both black people work at and Walmart. Them billionaires are the ones. I'm just keeping it real. They're the one
No, my
providing
thing is
job for the
when he
black boys.
said we all were immigrants and immigrants built this. No, we were slaves. Y'all
Oh
are
nah,
immigrants.
nah.
Immigrants
Oh, they
came
came
over
out of
here
his ass.
voluntarily, and y'all getting benefits that the slaves put forth. So
Exactly,
correct that. I see
Mm-mm.
your TikTok,
exactly. I
but
got a
we're gonna
problem with them.
go ahead,
To be
finish.
Okay.
continued.
No. Before we get out, I want to say that I have a problem with the looking at immigrants. Period. Talking about trying to compare our struggle and they struggle, and then same like the LGBTQ. They try to compare that same thing to to black people's struggle. You can't do that. That's an insult to the ancestors. The black people need to check them on
Exactly.
that. You know what
Our
I'm saying?
parents
So
were in
that,
the pick cotton and was beaten and lynched and water hosed. There's a
yep.
big difference. Immigrants came
Big
here
difference.
willfully after we done struggled. And then
Yep.
before we get out of here, I just want y'all to remember again, a tax credit is welfare. So if they're giving businesses welfare, they tell you getting welfare and food stamps. When it comes down to businesses and immigrants, they're getting tax credits and help.
Mm,
Same thing.
mm.
All coming from the
Ed,
government. It's all coming out your checks. I lay my plane.
education. All right. Be out. Peace.
Peace.
Yes.
You need to be with my partner. She needs to be with what's name.